On December 5, 1945, 5 U.S. Navy TBM Avenger torpedo bombers lifted off from the U.S. Naval Air Station in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for a routine training flight. Barely 30 minutes later, strange events began to unfold. Radio transmissions grew frantic, compasses spun wildly, instruments failed, and squadron leader Lieutenant Charles Taylor became disoriented. The Avengers drifted further out into the Atlantic, lost in confusion. Hours later, their fuel was gone. Then came silence. All 5 planes, and all 14 men aboard, vanished without a trace. This was not the first time such a disappearance occurred, nor will it be the last. For decades, this stretch of the Atlantic Ocean has carried a chilling reputation. Ships vanishing without a single distress call, aircraft disappearing from radar into thin air, search and rescue teams that never returned, and countless lives lost in ways that defy all explanation. Let's explore the mysterious disappearances, strange phenomena, and chilling real-life events of the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is an informal, loosely defined region of the western North Atlantic, bounded roughly by Miami, Florida, the island of Bermuda, and San Juan, Puerto Rico. Together, they create a vast triangle covering nearly 500,000 square miles of the Atlantic. Despite being an ordinary patch of ocean, it's also one of the world's busiest maritime and aviation corridors for cargo ships, passenger liners, military vessels, and commercial flights, which cross these waters constantly. The heavy traffic, combined with unpredictable weather and powerful currents, helps explain why incidents occur here. The Bermuda Triangle's modern mystique is largely a product of mid-20th century media sensationalism. While strange incidents had been reported earlier, it was journalists and writers like Vincent Gaddis who popularized the term Bermuda Triangle in a 1964 article, who collected these dramatic events and framed them as a mysterious pattern. Subsequent books, most notably Charles Berlitz's 1974 bestseller, television shows, and tabloid pieces, which sometimes used the name Devil's Triangle, amplified the legend and turned it into global folklore, often through exaggerated or fabricated details. However, on the afternoon of December 5, 1945, 5 U.S. Navy TBM Avenger torpedo bombers, known as Flight 19, took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for a routine overwater navigation training flight. Leading the squadron was Lieutenant Charles C. Taylor, an experienced pilot with over 2,500 flight hours. Shortly after completing the bombing portion of their exercise, Taylor became disoriented. He reported that both his compasses were malfunctioning and that he believed they were over the Florida Keys, when in fact, they were over the Bahamas. In radio transmissions with naval ground stations, he struggled to get his bearings. While one of his students suggested flying west, which would have taken them back toward Florida, Taylor instead ordered the squadron to fly east and northeast, leading them farther out over the Atlantic Ocean. As night fell and the weather worsened, the radio transmissions from Flight 19 grew faint. Low on fuel, the pilots prepared to ditch their planes in the rough seas. The last message heard from Taylor was chilling. "All planes close up tight. We'll have to ditch unless landfall. When the first plane drops below 10 gallons, we all go down together." Shortly after, all contact was lost. Following the disappearance of Flight 19, the Navy dispatched a PBM-5 Mariner rescue plane with a crew of 13 men. The Mariner departed from Naval Air Station Banana River, Florida, at 7:27 p.m. Just 3 minutes after takeoff, the crew made a routine radio call. But about 20 minutes later, the aircraft vanished from radar. In another shocking twist, the nearby merchant tanker SS Gaines Mills reported seeing a massive explosion and flames erupting on the sea at 7:50 p.m., precisely at the time and location where the Mariner disappeared. The ship's crew searched the resulting oil slick, but found no survivors. Given the PBM Mariner's known tendency for fuel vapor leaks, which could trigger mid-air explosions, investigators concluded this was the most probable cause of the crash. Despite an extensive search, no wreckage of Flight 19 was ever found. An initial Navy investigation concluded that Taylor was at fault due to navigational error, but the verdict was later changed to cause unknown after appeals from his family. What is known is that compass failures, worsening weather, and Taylor's confusion pushed the squadron fatally off course, leaving the planes to run out of fuel and vanish into the Atlantic. But this was not the first unsolved case. Decades earlier, in March 1918, a massive 500-foot-long Navy cargo ship, the USS Cyclops, set sail from Barbados to Baltimore with 306 men on board and over 10,000 tons of manganese ore. Somewhere between Barbados and the Chesapeake Bay, it simply vanished without a trace. The last message received was a routine report stating, "Weather fair, all well," before all contact abruptly ceased. Despite one of the largest search efforts in U.S. naval history, no wreckage, no lifeboats, and no bodies were ever recovered. The loss was so profound that President Woodrow Wilson remarked, "Only God and the sea know what happened to the great ship." To this day, the disappearance of the Cyclops and all 306 people aboard remains the greatest non-combat loss of life in U.S. naval history. However, the tragedies didn't end there. Commercial airliners also vanished under mysterious circumstances. On January 30th, 1948, a British South American Airways Avro Tudor 4 airliner, named Star Tiger, disappeared on a flight from the Azores to Bermuda with 31 people aboard. The plane had battled strong headwinds and was reportedly flying at low altitude, but it never sent a distress call. Then, almost exactly a year later, its sister aircraft, the Star Ariel, vanished after leaving Bermuda for Jamaica with 20 passengers and crew. Conditions were clear and calm, and the plane had made a routine radio transmission, before it, too, vanished without a trace. In both cases, no wreckage or survivors were ever found. The disappearances were so disturbing that the Avro Tudor 4 was eventually grounded, though the baffling circumstances only added to the triangle's chilling reputation. Over the decades, numerous theories have emerged to explain the strange disappearances within the Bermuda Triangle. The most widely accepted explanations point to natural and human factors. The region is known for its unpredictable weather, where sudden tropical storms, powerful downdrafts, and rogue waves, towering walls of water that can exceed 30 meters, can form without warning. Strong ocean currents, such as the Gulf Stream, can rapidly disperse wreckage, making recovery efforts nearly impossible. Navigational errors have also played a major role, especially in the pre-GPS era, when the area's magnetic variation, the difference between true north and magnetic north, could easily confuse compasses and pilots unfamiliar with the phenomenon. Other scientific hypotheses include methane gas eruptions from the seafloor, which could theoretically reduce water density enough to cause ships to sink suddenly, though no conclusive evidence supports this theory in the Triangle region. Beyond science, however, more speculative and sensational ideas have taken hold over the decades. Some claim that the Triangle is a gateway to another dimension, or a rift in space-time, responsible for the disappearance of ships and planes. Others suggest alien abductions, or that the lost city of Atlantis lies beneath the sea, its ancient technology interfering with modern navigation systems. These theories, while captivating, stem more from human fascination with the unknown than from any scientific evidence. Still, they have played a major role in cementing the Bermuda Triangle's status as one of the world's most enduring modern myths. Most researchers, however, agree that the true explanations lie within the forces of nature and human fallibility, not the supernatural. Throughout the years, scientific investigations have consistently found no evidence that the Bermuda Triangle is any more dangerous than any other part of the ocean. The U.S. Coast Guard, which regularly patrols the area, states that the number of disappearances is comparable to any heavily traveled region of the world's seas. Likewise, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, has repeatedly confirmed that there is no mysterious pattern, only a mix of natural environmental factors and human error. Insurance giant Lloyd's of London, which tracks maritime risks globally, also reports no higher insurance rates for ships passing through the triangle, since the region shows no unusual frequency of accidents or losses. U.S. Navy records support this finding as well, noting no significant increase in disappearances compared to other major ocean routes. Many so-called mysteries have since been resolved through better documentation and modern analysis. Some cases once thought to involve vanishing vessels turned out to be the result of poor record-keeping or overlapping ship names. Others were explained by a combination of environmental factors, such as sudden storms in the Gulf Stream, and navigational challenges, like human error and magnetic anomalies. In several famous cases, the wreckage was later discovered far from where it was originally reported lost. Ultimately, the Bermuda Triangle is not an anomaly of nature, but a reflection of our enduring fascination with the unknown. For over half a century, it has stood at the crossroads of science and superstition. And while modern investigations have stripped away much of its mystery, the Bermuda Triangle remains a testament to how easily human imagination can transform ordinary tragedies into timeless legends that shape our understanding of the world.